My Story, by Curious Infidelity Long. Story 1. I've been a lurker on here a while, and reading the community's comments and posts has really helped. I wanted to share my story. We met at a sports club when we were in our mid-20s. She was beautiful, exotic, intelligent and exciting. We clicked immediately, sharing the same interests and sense of humor. We were both young and naive but grew together, learnt what each other needed and how to provide that. We had similar life goals, liked the same sort of holidays and properties. We could talk for hours and hours about anything. My friends and family loved her, hers loved me, everything seemed perfect. We moved in together in our late 20s and had an amazing destination wedding in our early 30s. As we headed towards our mid-30s, we wanted to start a family. My wife came off the pill and we were looking at houses outside the city. That's when the affair started. Before diving into the details, I want to provide some background. After we got married, my wife started to retrain as a therapist. It's a long and emotionally intensive endeavor. They put you into groups with other trainees and you are encouraged to be as open and vulnerable as possible. During this time, my wife had started to lose touch with a lot of friends as they moved, had kids, etc. She had also put on a fair bit of weight and this made her self-conscious. April 2020 was probably a low point in our relationship. My stressful job and COVID restrictions were making me unhappy. My wife was on furlough paid leave and sat around in sweats watching TV all day. Time had gone from every other day to once a week. I decided to take action. I changed my job, got into running, made some new friends, removed all unhealthy food from the house and starting counting calories. My weight was fine, but I knew it would help my wife. To her credit, she engaged with the fitness drive and for the first time in years started to lose weight. We managed to go on holiday and were happy, relaxed and having time daily. We talked and joked constantly, were affectionate, supportive and encouraging. I thought the small blip was behind us. I couldn't have imagined the storm that was coming. Late 2020, my wife explained that she had always been a bit bi-curious and wanted to explore that side of herself. I was initially open to the idea, but as we discussed it more, I became very wary. She didn't just want to have a ONS with a random girl, she wanted to have a relationship with the women she'd met in her therapy group. I explained how this would be dangerous for our relationship, but she seemed unusually stubborn. She then started attacking our relationship. I thought it was good but was keen to improve, so we went into MC, which was very weird. We would discuss relationship issues, but whenever we found solutions, my wife would get angry and throw another problem out there. Looking back, I can tell that her mo was to justify the cheating and she had no interest in our relationship. 2 sessions in, she left our house to live with her parents for a week. While there, she called me up and told me that she'd had time with the women AP. I was furious and went to a live with a buddy for a few days. When I came back, I told her that I could forgive, but she had to go no contact with AP. We continued therapy but got nowhere. My wife refused to come home and said things like, "I'm not interested in your happiness right now." It soon emerged that she was still sleeping with AP. I got mad and asked for a divorce. Over the next few weeks, my wife threw all the emotionally abusive tactics and lies she could to try and justify herself. "I've done nothing wrong. We never said we were monogamous. This minor thing you did 6 years ago caused this. The relationship has been broken for years and would have dissolved anyway." Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore and cut contact. After the split, I was a wreck. I couldn't concentrate at work and was making mistakes. I would spend hours lying on the floor crying my eyes out. I couldn't believe what my life had become. I was looking forward to being a father and moving into a nice country house. Now I'm a 35-year single guy living with his parents. I can't believe how stupid I've been. There were so many warning signs. She even told me she was going to this girl's house when I knew there was chemistry. I suppose I just came from a place where I trusted her not to destroy our relationship. I didn't really see AP as a threat. She's weird and can't give my wife the life she once wanted. Some of the things my wife said hurt so much. This is the person who I committed the rest of my life to, the relationship I valued above all others. She had always had my back, but now she's stabbing me in it. I wake up every day thinking of her. I spend hours each day blaming myself, or being angry at her, or reminiscing about all the wonderful times we've spent together. Most of all, I'm still in shock. I still can't believe it's happened. We were such a great couple and she's thrown it away. Her friends, family and therapist all warned her against continuing the affair. She could see the pain it was causing me, knew the children and family she'd always wanted would be lost, but she did it anyway. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1. One morning in future you will wake up and realize by mid-morning that you have not thought about her. The future you want is still available, but the face of your partner will be different. She lost you far more than you lost her, because all she has is a fantasy, which will crumble. Stick to the fitness, study something new and better yourself to the point that you realize that you are more than adequate. Edit. Thanks for the award. Redditor 2. We never said we were monogamous. Yes, you guys did, in your vows. Forsaking all others. Redditor 3. As a therapist, I am firmly convinced people go into those fields because they are in dire need of their own services. How did she keep the house? Or did you sell and split the proceeds? She could see the pain it was causing me, knew the children and family she'd always wanted would be lost, but she did it anyway. Affair fog. Late 2020 my wife explained that she had always been a bit bi-curious and wanted to explore that side of herself. Given what I've read on these boards, she was already exploring. I wish you well op. Life has definitely thrown you a curveball. I have no doubt, however, you will pick yourself up and move forward. Story 2. I confronted my wife last night about an affair, with a keylogger to back up my story. My wife and I got engaged young 18 and married at 22. We have been married over 3 years now, together for 7. We currently work together at the same small company. A few months back, Kate, not her real name, and I started to become good friends with a co-worker, Jack. The three of us got along very well and started to hang out 3-4 nights per week. Jack and I were never great friends, we rarely called or emailed each other. Kate, on the other hand, talked to Jack constantly. For the first 4 months or so, it wasn't a big deal. I was included in all the conversations and told about all plans ahead of time. However, about 2 months ago, things started changing. Kate started acting a little more attached to Jack than I was comfortable with. She had taken a week off of work to go home, and while gone, she was in contact with Jack almost non-stop. Also around this time, Kate would talk to Jack constantly while we were at home after work. I started getting jealous at this time and I confronted her and told her that they were getting so close it was making me uncomfortable. That's when all of the secrecy started. Kate and I were always very open about everything. We knew each other's passwords, we always left our email open on our computer, we never had a problem with the other using the other's computer. Kate had started signing out of her email constantly. I noticed that she would be on her laptop in Gmail, then I go to my computer and she is not signed into her account. I found out on Friday night that she was signed into Jack's Gmail account. I found this out because she did a Google search in a separate window when I was behind her and the Google profile showed his account. That night, I got to work. Being a programmer, I wrote up a lightweight keylogger program and set it up on both her laptop and desktop. The next morning, she went out to go shopping while I was sleeping in. When she got home, I was playing games on my computer, pretty standard Saturday morning. I was playing a game that usually takes an hour per round, but the game ended very early and I got up to go see Kate. I walked in on her masturbating. She instantly stopped, laid down, and went to sleep because she was so embarrassed. For the 2 weeks before this, she was never in the mood for any kind of time, always saying, "I'm not sure why I'm not in the mood, it's weird." Before this incident, she had told me of 2 other times that she masturbated in the past, it's just not her thing. That day I witnessed 3 more incidents, her being logged into Jack's email. That night, last night, I waited until she was asleep and until I knew he would be asleep. I grabbed my keylogger information off of her laptop and quickly found Jack's email account info. I logged in and started reading. They were sending emails back and forth to the same account. God, I bet they thought it was the safest and best idea ever to keep me from ever knowing. They had only been doing this new email thing for about a week, and they were so proud of it. There were about 15 messages in total from the last week. Only 2 of those were very S-time-ul, so I don't 100% doubt her claim that they never actually had S-time. Most of the rest were them talking about how they miss each other's eyes and they can't stop thinking about each other, and how they need to convince me to hang out more so they could see each other more. The confrontation was surreal and felt like there should be cameras filming it for a TV show. We haven't made any decisions yet about how we are going to handle things, mostly because we had to go to work all day and she fell asleep within 5 minutes of getting home. So, here I am. Tomorrow morning, I will be going back to work with Kate and Jack. I care deeply for Kate and get along great with her family. I want to fix this, but we are partially stuck at this job for the next 6 months and she refuses to stop being friends with Jack. She tells me that they never even kissed, but I'm not sure I can believe her. What should I do, Reddit? Should I go ballistic? Should I stay calm? TLDR, I walked in on my wife masturbating, wrote a keylogger and put it on her computer, and found out she was having an affair with a co-worker we worked together. Redditors' reactions. Redditor 1, you don't have kids, man. Ducking in that it before you do, for God's sake. It's all about the upper hand. BTW, you should definitely post the emails with the names redacted. Now that would be awesome. Redditor 2, the best revenge you can have on Jack is to let him keep her. Also, I am reminded of this quote. Calm down. Breathe. This isn't the end of a beautiful love life that ended suddenly, this is the beginning of the rest of your damn life, and it's only going to get better from here. You're free. Realize that. This girl wanted to marry you, and she's willing to duck some dipshit behind your back? You dodged a massive ducking bullet, man. The really huge Super Mario kind with the eyes on the side, where you had to run and duck into the little divot to avoid shrinking. You did that. You got into that divot, and you're still supersized, and you can break blocks with your face. Now get out there and step on some ducking turtles. Redditor 3, I can't believe you're asking for advice. Take your balls out of her purse. Put them back in your pants. Print the emails as evidence. Go to a lawyer and file for divorce. Tell the BTCH to get the duck out. Not only that. Why in the hell are you working with your wife in the first place? Not to mention hanging out with co-workers. Redditor 4, oh boy. She refuses to stop being friends with Jack? To me, that is a deal breaker. She values Jack's friendship more than her marriage. What she was doing was cheating and was a violation of your marriage. Don't believe her. You should not stay calm. It should take a long time for her to win your trust back from her if she is lucky enough that you don't divorce her. She just stabbed you in the back. Very minimum counseling, but divorce should not be out of the question.